Hey gang, welcome to the first devlog for Ashes to Ashes, my indie game currently in production. Ashes to Ashes is a top-down open-world game where you defeat the 7 deadly sins using various hammers you find along the way. The first thing I had to work on, of course, was the map. My sprite artist, Cake, spent some time making our first map, and I had to painstakingly make the hitboxes for each of the locations by hand. I'm dreading the day we eventually remake the world, but for now it works. We decided to make the beginning area have a fire and ice theme, so the plan was to have a giant volcano in the middle. So here's the final volcano. It's a lot bigger than we thought, but I think it works well. Anyways, the game was feeling empty, especially for it being an open world. We made a few enemies that can spawn. I won't go into too much detail, but as the starting area is based on the sin envy, most of the enemies here try to avoid you unless provoked. Now that there was something to do in the open space, I had to make some hammers. Hammers are the weapon of choice you will use throughout the adventure. They will have lots of unique abilities and you can hold a few at once to create interesting combos and synergies. So far we have the default hammer, some hammers based off the enemies, and an air hammer. The air hammer does nothing, but don't worry, you can upgrade it so it can do double nothing. To really flesh out the combat, I added the ability to dash to avoid attacks. Next, I worked on making a charge attack for the hammers, to do some extra damage. We also needed a way to heal, which we debated for a bit. Before coming up with the sin meter, originally we were playing around with eating food through a menu. But eventually we decided this didn't flow very well into the combat. Instead, we took lots of inspiration from Hollow Knight, and made the sin meter it fills up whenever you kill an enemy, and by holding the button, you can heal. Although you are vulnerable to attack. The sin bar will also be used for some hammers' special attacks in the future. The game also needed music, so I've really been cooking and I think the soundtrack sounds pretty good so far. I've been releasing the tracks periodically on my channel. Anyways, that's everything I have to show so far. Make sure you subscribe to get future news on Ashes to Ashes.